Hello, everybody. This is Matthew Brand. Welcome to the Man in the Crate podcast. And does anybody else think it's kind of a pussy move by YouTube to disable the dislikes? We know what they did it for, right? They did it for mainly the bigger corporations, news channels, including themselves, right? YouTube, big corporation. People don't like them, and when every time they come out with a new plan, some new censorship, some new edits, people dislike them, and it shows kind of a popularity, right? And what they're trying to do is not allow people to know whether people what other people are really thinking. They're basically trying to isolate ideals and thought processes. It's kind of it's not an infringement of freedom of speech technically because they're their own company. But what's becoming a problem is these are the only outlets that most people communicate through anymore, right? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, which is also Facebook, and I guess maybe Twitter. I don't know, but a lot of the times people only really communicate through these particular channels, and there's no accountability through the users to these corporations, right? They sell us with advertising, but on the other hand, you don't, let's say something's wrong with your Facebook or you have a problem, you don't really get to talk to anybody about it. If you're having an issue with the YouTube algorithm, you don't really get to contact anybody about it. I mean, yeah, you can send something to them, but it's kind of guaranteed to be a one way because, in a way, they're, I don't know how to say it, like they're technically giving it to you for free, but in a way they're sucking away the more profitable thing, which is attention at this point. All these corporations, they really want your attention. So I don't know, in my mind, the only way you can really get back to them is to give them less attention. And to them, well, there's always another two eyes out there that they can target if you don't. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, it's kind of getting really sad. Between Disney, YouTube, Facebook, all these different platforms, the only one that really gives honest, clear, I should say, thoughts and stuff is podcasting. Like that's the only outlet left that's not overly censored and has Big Brother looming over its shoulder. Of course, you can talk to people over the phone, but as far as getting to meet new people, get introduced to new people, like if you go on one of those dating sites, let's say for example, OK Cupid, everything on that dating site is very far left, and I'm not somebody who's on what would you call a right wing, right? But if you look at the dating site, everything on that website is far left. Like they're asking you, are you, pro this? Are you pro that? But it's always left. They don't have it on the reverse, right? So what they're doing is they're funneling you into a particular mindset. And if you don't fit that particular mindset, you're not welcome here. I don't like that. I enjoy talking to people with different opinions. I enjoy having constructive conversations and different stuff like that. Being able to think critically by talking to, having civil conversations with people who have different opinions. To think that everybody's being funneled into having the same idea, or else, really, or else, oh, you're going to be kicked off the platform. You're not going to be able to communicate with anybody. You're going to be isolated. That's horrible to think that that's the tactic that these big corporations have. And once again, if they say something, let's say for example, just off the chance, because this is the kind of channel this is, oh, we should get rid of all guns, and 90% of Americans disagree with that, or 90% of people in general disagree with that, and they flood it with dislikes, right? Because every time they hear it, they're like, that doesn't make any sense. Dislike, 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 dislike. And then some people may look at that and like, oh, okay, this just right wing people creating bots or Russian bots, okay? And or some people might look at that and be like, what is it that people don't like about this? Let me look in the comments to see if there's something I'm missing, and then they might find some education. They don't want that. They want everybody to feel, that they're agreed with, right? Or at least not disagreed with. So when somebody brings up, you know, we're going to do this or we're going to do that from the government, they don't want you to feel like there's a bunch of people out there who think that's stupid. They want you to just see the people who agree with it. It makes no sense to get rid of the dislike button. I hated that when what was it, Netflix that did that, because all of a sudden I didn't know what shows were kind of generally considered bad or good. You just had what was recommended. How strongly was it recommended for you, right? I like a 5-star rating or something along those lines, right? I like to see what different opinions are. Now, I don't care much for Rotten Tomatoes type of how should you say it, reviews. But I like that there's an audience review and I like that there's a critic review, right? Then you have two different opinions. At least it weighs out. But what I really, and the reason I say I don't care much for Rotten Tomatoes style reviews is because the way the review system actually works. I think it's like if it's over a certain amount, right, then it's automatically good, and if it's under a certain amount, then it's automatically bad. Where something can be actually so high, but you'll never know. You'll just have so many, people voting it bad, as in rotten, as opposed to like, well, it was okay, right? Maybe watch it with your evening coffee, but that's not the point. I'm just saying a lot of people criticize Rotten Tomatoes for different things, but I do like that there is a critic score at least. I like having different opinions. Is everything has to be pro like, and even though these platforms they're free, and yes, these corporations own these businesses, they've gotten too big. It's in a way where most people uh, weren't expecting the vast majority of their communications to be funneled through these systems. So it's kind of sad, but it's almost going to have to go a route where we're going to have to find some type of alternative, um, where a variety. There's not a lot of competition, right? We have YouTube and stuff like that. There needs to be more competition, right? This is basically a monopoly. You got YouTube and there's Facebook, right? Facebook owns Instagram. A lot of people are like, I don't use Facebook. A lot of people use Instagram, right? So it's Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat. That's generally it. I know Twitter exists, but I don't know. That I think Twitter's like a little cesspit. But maybe that's just because I don't use it. But I don't know. It just even when I did use it, it just seems like people get on there to be angry about something or to talk about something no one cares about. So um, YouTube, I find general really good information on YouTube. And it will be nice to at least see a dislike to see when there's somebody who's posing, or there's somebody who's a scam, or there's somebody who is giving poor information out. Or sometimes one of the big issues is you go on Facebook and then somebody will, this is a running joke. I don't even look at it anymore because I keep forgetting about it. But they have these videos where someone is pretending to be a cheater, or they have these videos where somebody's pretending to show you something really cool and interesting, and it just sucks up like 5 minutes of your day, and just like a psych, I was just being stupid. Sorry for wasting 5 minutes of your day. This is Facebook is flooded with that, but you don't really choose what videos you watch. They kind of come up in your scroll. That's Facebook. Instagram, same thing. You don't really pick what videos. With YouTube, you kind of pick the videos, and if I couldn't pick the videos, I probably just wouldn't watch YouTube. Um, I watch it for information's sake. I think YouTube has a mostly male demographic, so I think they also kind of watch it for information's sake. Same with the podcast. So I don't know. I'm just thinking about leaning more towards podcasts, but it doesn't give that same variety. It doesn't have as great of a search engine, but there needs to be more diversity. This is the way YouTube has this with the likes and dislikes. That's just sick. And I heard someone said that they're doing that to protect creators' feelings. Maybe creators shouldn't post stuff that's they just pulled out of their butt, because it's usually that's the only time people get flooded with dislikes is when they creator makes something up to support the way they feel or something like that, or when they just say something egregious. Most of the time, people aren't flooding random people with dislikes, and if they do, the creator can, I believe, usually choose to disable the likes and dislikes. I believe they can do that, and this is the problem I have, like the biggest overarching problem. If somebody has disabled the dislikes on their video, I tend to choose not to watch it. I don't want to watch something if the dislikes are disabled. So, that being the case, I guess, I don't know. This is kind of sad, but there's a lot of videos I won't be watching anymore. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Peace.